A Jewish person cannot marry a non-Jew in the state of Israel because it is a racist state. It is the Jewish state. A Palestinian who can prove his background and even has deed titles to land in Palestine cannot return to Palestine. Yet a Jew anywhere in the world who can trace their Jewish hereditary path can return to the state of Israel. This is a racist policy. Not only that, but the laws for the Israeli citizens and the few Arab citizens of Israel is totally different from that of the non-Israeli citizens who are occupied in the West Bank. And of course, we know about the treatment of the people of Gaza, whereby 1.7 million people, which includes over 800,000 children, probably about 850, 900,000 children, over half of the population of Gaza is children, and yet they can be collectively punished, supposedly based on the crimes of their parents or others. And this is exactly how the Jewish state of Israel acts. It acts in a Jewish supremacist way. The policies of those in the top positions of power is that synonymous with a racist supremacist ideology. The only reason why they can get away with this, once again I will repeat it regardless of what this person says on the East Coast, is that they enjoy the favor of those who have the power in this world. The reason why the bankers got trillions of dollars and pounds and euros for us to bail them out, the richest of the rich bankers managed to get our treasonous governments to have the American taxpayer, European taxpayers, and all of the other taxpayers of the world to bail them out, is because the bankers own the governments. They also own the mainstream media. The fact that they happen to be largely Jewish is not my opinion, it's just a simple fact. The fact that Netanyahu refers to the Jewish people as a race, countless rabbis refer to the Jewish people of a race, and the fact that the Jewish state itself requires that you prove your Jewish hereditary roots in order to come back to Israel is not my Jewish supremacist ideology. That is the ideology of the people themselves and the government themselves. So it is a racist state, and it treats people as subhumans, and this is just simple fact.
Bigotry, racism.
All these cancers, no prayers answer. Keep fighting a monster, show what you stand for. I know this life isn't what you're planned for. Such disgust, corruption, self-destruction, another influx of injustice, corporate greed, religious deceit, fighting all these wars yet claiming to be free. It's a global hypocrisy. I don't hear the truth on your lips when you speak. This prophecies, rampant disease, the betrayal of the human rights we all receive. Stop aggression and imprisonment, set Gaza free. Put the world on my shoulders but it's hard to breathe. Let the words that I preach put your sights on me. Just know that your crosshairs don't scare me. Man, know that your pistol can't silence me.
Fighting the monster that wants us all dead. Making these noises that's driving us mad. Is there a solution to free us all, friends? Free us from losing our heads.
Here's your draft paper, son. Here's your knife, here's your gun. You're on Uncle Sam's time and it's no time for fun. While he's in his office writing letters to your mom, I sincerely regret the death of your son. He fought with so much spirit, he never thought to run. I can't take this bullshit, man, they're blinding everyone. They're stripping all our freedoms, they're trying to take our guns. They tax and tax, then spend our pension funds. With the NSA, so it's okay, we listen every day. We reflect certain words, we hear exactly what you say. On weakness they pray, what can I say? What can I do? I try to stay positive, I struggle with the truth. I think about the future, GMO polluted fuse. I want to end the suffering, I want to end abuse, but I don't have the solution, so what's a man to do? What's a man to do?
Fighting the monster that wants us all dead. Making these noises that's driving us mad. Is there a solution to free us all, friends? Free us from losing our heads. Fighting the monster that wants us all dead. Making these noises that's driving us mad.
Saltzman. I mean, you look at Islam, for example. I mean,
sure.
in Islam, according to the Muslims, Islam religion, the only people who ultimately go to heaven are the Muslims.
You are just missing the point. I just said that in Judaism, chosenness is actually a beautiful thing. I just said in Judaism, Jews are demanded to stand as an exemplary moral case. The problem starts actually with secularism, Jewish secularism. And this is something that is very easy to explain. So we don't talk about Judaism. It's the second time, third time that you try to make me talking about the Judaism. I'm not interested in Judaism. The book hardly refers to Judaism. And even when I refer to the Bible, I show how the Bible was interpreted by the secular Zionist movement. And I show that actually from a Judaic point of view, you can interpret it differently. I'm talking about Jewish secularism. What is Jewish secularism? Enlightenment can be seen as a rise of a secular movement. Now, in the Christian world, in the Western, in the European universe, there was an attempt to replace the religio with an anthropocentric philosophy that would locate the human being, the human subject, as the core of an ethical thinking. So Immanuel Kant came with the second critic and he said, listen, we can look into ourselves and find ethic within our notion of subjectivity. In Judaism, it didn't happen. We had Orthodox Jews, and at a certain stage, the Jews decide that they don't need God. There was an opportunity of assimilation. And this ethical intensity that we see in the Christian world never happened in Judaism, except one case. Interestingly enough, Zionism was the only, early Zionism, let's be precise, early Zionism was the only attempt to erect a Jewish, secular, civilized world. They said, we are not happy when we look in the mirror. We are bourgeoisies, we are capitalists, we are usurers. They were they were anti-Semitic. They were very unhappy with the image of the Jew in the European society. And they wrote a lot about it. You can look into Herzl, into Nordau, into Borochov, into Beryl Katzenelson. And they said, we are going to change it. It's not our fault. It is because we are detached from our land. Once we move to our land, we will become beautiful people, civilized people. So Zionism was, in fact, early Zionism, a promise to make the Jew into a wonderful, civilized human being. Now, it failed, and this is very clear. Why it failed? It failed because there were a lot of people living already on the land. It became a plunderous movement. And there is another problem. If Zionism was the promise to turn the Jew into people like all other people, it was involved in a paradox, because all other people don't want to be like other people. So it couldn't lead anywhere. But Zionism is just part of the problem.
Yeah.